Hey guys, Dr. Gallagher back with some more tips that are going to help the brain and especially ADD. So we've gone through a bunch of different things that are going to be helpful, why we have ADD, where it comes from, what that looks like in the person's brain, that it's more of a neurological as opposed to a biochemical. A lot of good information so far. So now we're going to go over one of the other crucial things that's going to be helpful for dealing with ADD and for helping that brain in general. Well, sleep. Not everybody wants to hear that because sleep can be challenging for a lot of people, especially kids. We may not see a full-blown insomnia with the kid. Insomnia, this is what I look at. I look at people have a hard time getting to sleep or have a hard time staying asleep, and so they'll pop up and then not be able to get back to sleep and come back and back and forth, back and forth. So not a lot of kids have that scenario, but what we see with a lot of kids is just this low grade, never waking up refreshed. Doesn't matter if they get 8 hours of sleep or 14 hours of sleep, they're never gonna be like, hey, let's take on the day. And some people go, oh, that's just a teenage thing. It's like, well, no, not necessarily. I remember being a teenager and I couldn't sleep past 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd want to get up and go and do things. And I had friends that would sleep until 2 in the afternoon. We'd go out that evening and by 7 o'clock they'd be like, ooh, I'm tired. And they'd still be tired. So I guarantee you those brain waves, that sleep pattern was not consistent, not constructive in there. So what do we look at? Well, a couple different things that are going to be important as far as sleep goes. If we are not getting our good, deep, restorative sleep, that is when we are repairing and we're rebuilding. So if you think about a kid, that's all they need to be doing is repairing and rebuilding. Why? Because they're growing. Their brain is growing, their body's growing, their muscles, their bones, all these things are changing. They've got to keep repairing and building. So number one time that happens is in that good, deep, delta, restorative sleep phase. So if we're not sleeping, we're not repairing, we're not rebuilding. Yes, they're still going to grow and they're still going to turn into an adult, but their brain isn't going to heal as well as it should, their bones, muscles, all those things, because remember, we're continually breaking down, but we have to build up. So just like bone, I always think about the brain and the rebuilding process kind of like a bone, because when I first learned about the anatomy, all I'd ever seen is bone out in Rocky Mountain National Park or whatever, this elk bone, and it was dried out and kind of a hard brittle thing. That's not what our bones are like on the inside. They are a living matrix, supple. Obviously they're rigid, but they have a lot of activity, blood flow, different things going on in there. We're always breaking down bone. And that's important because the more we break it down, the more we build it up, that's going to be the good, healthy bone. So we're always breaking it down, but it's when we don't build it up enough that we get what's called osteoporosis. Most people think of we're losing bone, but it's that we're not repairing and rebuilding that bone enough so that yes, we ultimately do lose bone, but we're always losing bone. It's just, are we building it up enough? So I look at the brain the same way. We're always losing brain cells and we're always rebuilding brain cells. And especially in kids, they're building brain cells even way faster than we are as adults. So what does that mean? Well, we have to get that good, deep, restorative sleep state because that is when the brain can rebuild. That is when the muscles, the bones, the skin, the hair, the nails, the guts, everything can rebuild and repair is primarily done at nighttime. So sleep is crucial. So what can we do about sleep? Well, first thing that we have to look at is our rhythm and our pattern. If somebody's going to bed at 8 and then 11 and then 9 and then 8 and then 12, they're never going to get this good, deep, restorative sleep state. So we need to get on a good, consistent rhythm. Most of you, if you're a parent out there or if you've been working with kids, you know that rhythms are important anyways. But it's a 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9, whatever bedtime it is, and everybody's got different philosophy on those things. Stick with it. Get them in there within 15 minutes. Have that rhythm. Say, okay, you know what? We're going to bed at 8:30, so it's 8 o'clock. Let's go, hey guys, let's go brush our teeth. Let's go get our pajamas on. Let's lie down. We're going to read some. Or if they're old enough and they do those things on their own, then scurry them along. Keep pushing them, helping them, moving them in that direction where they're getting into that place by 8:20, 8:25. They're reading, 8:30. You know what? Lights out. Let's go to sleep. That rhythm is very, very important to be able to have that consistent sleep. We are built on these patterns and rhythms and cycles and seasons and all these different things throughout the world, and that's how our body flows as well. So that rhythm is very important, but then there's other things that we can do to help get that brain calming down. So in our house we have the salt lamps. They're these orangish reddish light and they're made out of Himalayan salt, and there's a little night light in there, and we have those going in most of our rooms. And so instead of having big bright lights like these on me, which are going to be stimulating my brain, going to be telling it, hey, it's more daytime, we're going to be using the orangish reddish light, just like we've evolved over the years, looking at campfires, looking at candles, looking at the sunset, all these different things that are going to be telling our brain, hey, you know what, it's time to start calming down. Let's start winding down that brain. So that color is going to be very important, just like this phone that I'm talking into, an iPad, a computer, TV, all those things have blue light. Blue light, if I was looking outside right now and I saw the sky, that blue, it would be actually invigorating to me, versus that sunset, that orangish reddish glow, that's going to be calming my brain down. So the blue light of all of the electronics we use, not okay. At least an hour before bed, turn it off, close it. If somebody has to be doing homework, anything like that, you want to make sure that you put it on grayscale. There's a lot of different tricks. I don't have time to get into all those different ones right now, but you need to be able to block that blue light. Glasses, all types of different ways that you can do it. So we need to shut down that blue light. We need to calm the brain. The warm baths are also nice. We talked about essential oils earlier. The lavender is a great one. Put it on the pillow, have a diffuser going, put it in the bath. There's magnesium is a supplement that's going to be very calming as well. So a lot of good things that we can do to get that brain, to get that sleep state better. A big one as well, if there's a light shining in or any bright light coming in from the street, anything like that, that's going to be stimulating us as well. If you remember last time there was a full moon, you may not have slept as well because it was brighter. So having some blackout curtains, having some different things like that. I also unplug the Wi-Fi in our house. The EMFs, the electromagnetic fields, can stimulate the brain, as well as turning off cell phone. Don't have that sitting by your bed, and don't have your alarm clock by the headboard as well. Put that across the room if you need an alarm clock. So these are all some great tools that you can start using. Again, deep quality sleep, rebuilding brain, rebuilding bones, gut, all these different things. And there are a lot of good tools that you can use. Once that brain starts working better and getting that good sleep cycle, it's going to be way easier through the rest of the day.